Hello.
Who's the bear? What's that?
It's a
A beaver?
quokka. It's not a bear, it's a quokka. It's from the island of rat. I forgot what it's called. some
What's the
island
red?
off of some island off of the coast of Australia.
Oh, wow.
And it's a
Nice.
marsupial. So it's from Rottnest Island, and it carries its young in its pouch, and it's known for its selfies. It loves taking
Selfies?
yeah,
Just
it
take
takes
selfies?
selfies. Yeah, with tourists. It's
Wow.
really cute. I have yet to meet one in person. I don't see an option to like a chat. I don't see a chat option, so I can't share the link, unfortunately.
Hi, everybody. It's Warren. How's everyone?
Good
Hi,
evening.
Warren. Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm trying to log in my computer because I was running, so I log in on the phone. And on the phone, I can't see anything. I'll say congratulations, Warren.
Say that again.
Congratulations.
Thank you. On what?
Your nomination.
Oh, thank you. I couldn't have done it without you, Carmen.
I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could. Yeah, I like in and out of the meeting because I am like so zoomed out, it's ridiculous.
It's amazing, right?
Honestly, even when this corona thing is over, I really like the Zoom meetings because I can like eat dinner at home, and you don't have to worry about going out to some meeting in person. I don't know. I say we keep the Zoom meetings for CB9.
Yeah,
Maybe we can meet once a
problem,
quarter in
You
person.
have a lot more time with the
my
Zoom.
problem is that I find myself with 2 and 3. I have three scheduled at the same time. So I have to jump. I have one at 6, 6:30, 7. So I got to jump in and out of meetings.
But imagine if that was in person. Then you would have
Well,
to scramble running around.
no, if it was in person, I can say I'm sorry, but I'm gonna be somewhere else.
You can still do that now. You can still say that now. Like, look, tell them you got another Zoom meeting. They understand.
No, I do. I go in and out. I use laptop, I use the phone, I use the computer, whatever I can get my hands on. So right now, I'm trying to log into the laptop so I can see people and be able to do the meeting. Because right now, my phone is like, I have a hard time finding chat and all that other stuff.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hi. And I need to see who's on so we can get started. Okay, I think how's everybody? How's everybody this misty night?
Doing good.
Good. Okay. Now I'm on the now I can turn off my phone. I'm muted, so you don't hear nothing I'm saying. All right, here we go. Okay, so I have Valerie. Hi, Valerie, Suman. While the committee, Kalista is on. Felice, okay, Felice is on. So I think we have a quorum.
Call is on.
Oh, I see Carl. Hi, Carl.
Hi, how are you?
I see you and your team. Excellent. Thanks for coming.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming.
You're
So
welcome.
I just want to greet everyone. This evening, for the benefit of the committee members, I normally would say, you know, or maybe we can do it if everybody can just unmute themselves one by one and say their name, or I can just do it. So we have our committee members, Valerie Fleming, Suman Ganguly, Felice Robertson is here, the co-chair, Calista de Jesus. Well, the members. Oh, Jeff just joined us, excellent. So for the committees, and Warren Burke, our first vice chair, vice president, thinking of Kamala. Vice Chair Warren, you don't look like her, Warren, don't get excited. And this evening we are joined by, of course, our DOT liaison, Diane Soriano Henley, who have been
Yeah,
keeping us-
Diana Soriano, yes.
Yes. And I see our new district manager, Dante, welcome. And we are joined by Carl Cohen and his crew, his team, that they will be providing us, along with DOT, updates on what's happening with the Clow Road project. Alexandra Gerges is here from DDC. Hi, Alexandra.
Hi, Carmen, how are you?
She will update us on the Empire reconstruction project that's moving along quite well, I see. And am I leaving anybody behind? Who's Andrew?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, I'm just a community member. I have a question about a speed bump for the DOT whenever you can fit me in.
Oh, okay. Welcome. Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. So unless there's somebody left to introduce themselves, welcome again. Again, I'm Carmen Martinez, Chair of the Transportation Committee. I promise not to keep you long because, you know, tonight is quite, I hate rainy nights. I just want to curl up with Netflix. I will start the meeting. And for those of you DOT from DOT and Carl Cohen, Dante, you might not have had the chance to meet him, but he's the new district manager at Community Board 9. So by way of just introducing him, I'm introducing him to you. And I guess you'll get to meet him through the district cabinet meetings and everything else, district service cabinet meetings. All right. So we can just go ahead and begin with DOT and Carl Cohen giving us update on Clow Road. I don't want to keep you guys because I know I'm sure you guys have other things to do besides spending the night with us. So whoever wants to begin first, floor is yours.
Sure, I'll just start off. It's nice to see everybody again. My name is Dash Henley. I'm a planner in the Brooklyn Borough Commissioner's Office at DOT. I know some of you from previous meetings. Just wanted to give a brief update on the project. We are still collecting survey responses for people's input about what's going on. I'm sorry, how they use the area around Clove Road now and what they'd like to see in the future. So we're taking responses from there still, and the construction team, Carl Cohen and his team are here. They're also working to install physical flyers with those same surveys at the site so that people can get the link to do the survey, or they can call into our office if they don't want to or can't use internet on their phone or computer. So we're doing that. And then the other update is that we would like to finally move into the next phase once we get those survey responses of scheduling a public workshop to invite the community board and all members of the community and interested stakeholders to discuss their vision for what they would like the Clove Road site to look like. So that's something we wanted to bring before the committee today, is looking at a date and time that works best. We're aiming for late May or early June. So we're looking to see a time that works best for all of you. Usually we do a weekday evening. We'd like to do something in person and at the site, but we're not married to that idea. We can have different forms of input, and we might be able to actually do a second event as well for those who can't attend or don't want to attend in person as well.
I have a quick question, Dash. This is Valerie Fleming.
Hi,
How are
Valerie.
you?
Nice to see you again.
Thank you for joining our meeting. What happened to all of the ideas and the different things that were on the table concerning Clove Road over the years? Because this is, not a new thing. We just keep recircling back every 5, 10, 15 years. So I'm just wondering what consideration may have been given to some of the ideas in the past to include preserving some of those more than 100-year-old stones and bricks that were down there. So I just was trying to find out, what are your thoughts on that?
Right. I remember when you brought that up, one of the first meetings I came here. So I looked into what we had on that. We do have a survey report. I forget how old it is, but it's within that time span of 15 years, looking at the history of the cobblestones and that. So we do have that, and we gave it to Mr. Cohen and his team to try to take that into account. The cobblestones is definitely something we've heard from you guys before. So that's definitely on our list. In terms of the other plans, I know there had been previous plans with artwork, that sort of thing, and that is on the list of possibilities as well. So we're definitely keeping those ideas as part of the discussion and looking for new ideas as well.
Thank you.
I'm not sure if Mr. Cohen, if you want to add anything to that as well.
Yes, well, thanks, Valerie. How are you? And thanks for your question. I just want to mention that due to the fact that those stones was there hundreds of years ago, and that's a part of the history of that location, I'm definitely keeping those stones there and restore them and make sure that they're a part of the history that will remain at Clove Road at the plaza.
Thank you for the consideration. I just wanted to ensure that some thought was given to some of the ideas that we had before. And, some of the people may have moved on and different people are in the community now. So we do want to take a fresh look, fresh eyes, and see what we can do to incorporate some of the history, because you can't go forward without knowing what your history is. As
right.
we come up with some type of exhibit, or I call it a way station or something, so that the people can know what's happening over there. But thank you so much, Carl. And it's nice that
you're welcome. And I just wanted to get back on that as well. And that's why I'm doing the museum there, which, and we are doing a memorial also for the soldiers that got killed at that location. And we are doing an outdoor theater, which the screen will be coming out of the ground to show those things that was happening there over the years. And that's why, again, the museum is so important for people to see exactly what took place there in 1776.
Fantastic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I will also like to encourage the committee members to complete the survey. I mean, all of those issues and concerns that are being raised at the meeting should be put down on paper or online, whichever way you're going to complete the survey, so that we can have those ideas of previous idea, new idea, or things that we have never thought about, taken into consideration, as well as during the workshop. I believe the survey and the workshop are to do exactly that, to give the community an opportunity to have further input when it comes to the board, because we have had prior input, but some of the committee can have, community residents can have fresh ideas and different input. So please go online and put your thoughts down in those survey. And once these workshops are scheduled, invite your neighbors and anybody else that have expressed concern about the development. Thank you. So anybody else?
I think Simon, Simon, would you like to continue where we left off?
Sure. Hi, my name is Simon. I'm part of Mr. Cohen's team. So one of the things that I am picking up the poster boards to put around Clove Road, Montgomery, and Nostrand. We're gonna put the poster, the flyer as a big poster on there, and also give them a form of a paper form that they can take home as well. So they can either use their camera on it, or they can take it home and do it the old-fashioned way, or they can call Dash. So that will be done by no later than Monday, Tuesday at the latest.
Okay, and I have one other question. Is there a proposed rendering of what the vision may look like? And no, that's not the final product, but is there a rendering that's going to be available? Or is there one available now?
There isn't one available now. We want to have the public workshop first so we can get that input and incorporate the previous input that we talked about. And then Mr. Cohen and his team can work on a rendering based on that feedback.
Okay, thank you.
So Dash, in terms of the on-site, you mentioned something about an on-site workshop, which, you know, if we had a pleasant evening, like we had some evening that was like 70 degrees and people just wanted to come out for the night. And as well, I think that, you know, I will agree to doing that. It will also give people in the community an opportunity to actually visit the site and see the current condition so that they can envision the betterment as the plaza comes into being. So, you know, I think that would be great if that could be done. If not, you know, I guess we will proceed some other way, but that would be kind of like a site visit, and people, you know, will have more ideas once they see the actual layout and the surroundings around the plaza. Because a lot of people don't even have not even been to Clove Road. They know that it is somewhere in there, but that will give people an opportunity. So that would be great.
Great.
Anybody else have any ideas for the workshop? Okay. So you were looking at late May, early June, but you don't know exactly what time.
Right. So usually in the past for plaza projects, we've done weekday evenings, probably 6 to 8, I think is the usual time slot. But we can be flexible with that. We're not married to that date. I know in standard COVID times, I guess that's a weird thing to say, but in COVID, we've been doing workshops virtually, of course, but we've also, because of that, been able to do more than one a little bit easier than it would be for physical workshops. So we've done one weeknight option for a project and one midday option. So, some people can more easily do one than the other, and it gets more input. So that's, something we could, some kind of combination of that we could explore. So we could do an in-person one and then maybe follow it up with a virtual one at a different time or something like that. So we're open to that as well.
Okay, great. Well, I think our June Transportation Committee meeting is probably the second, whatever that first Wednesday is. So, I'll be happy to make that a instead of having this kind of Transportation Committee meeting to be kind of like an on-site, the on-site workshop.
Okay, let me talk to our public spaces group and I'll see what they think of that.
Okay.
And to confirm, Carmen, that would be June 9th. That's the first, June 2nd, yeah. First Wednesday of the month?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
June 2nd. All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. We'll let you know.
Okay, great.
Cool.
So any other comments, suggestions, ideas, any other input with regard to Clove Road? I think I see Mr. Newport? Hi, Mr. Newport. You have anything to add?
Hi, good evening. No, I think I'm going to wait to see what unfolds at the community meeting before I make any suggestions. I would like to see what others are thinking. And again, my only real concern is that there be ample way for emergency vehicles to be able to get in and out, that parking be disturbed as little as possible, and then everyone can be happy.
Okay. Just want to make sure that you and your neighbors have a say.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Anything else? Any questions for Mr. Cohen and his team? Who we have here? Stefan, are you with Mr. Cohen, or you with DOT? Who's Stefan?
Hi, I'm with KPL with Mr. Cohen.
Oh, okay. All right. Making sure you're not a community resident.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, we just want to make sure that if there's any community residents, they have their say. Okay. The committee has no further questions, no further comments, no further input with regard to Clove Road. Okay, so we can, I want to thank Carl Cohen and his team for joining us and updating us on the developments for the projects. So now we can move on to the next item on the agenda, which will be update from DDC with regard to the Empire Franklin Washington reconstruction. So, hi, Alexandra, we missed you.
Hello, good evening, everybody. I missed you guys too.
How you doing? You okay?
I'm doing well. How are you guys? How are you, Carmen?
I'm good, good. Thank you.
So we are moving along on the reconstruction of Empire Boulevard. Pretty much at this point in time, the anticipated completion is still at October 2021. If everything goes according to plan, we will be completed by fall of this year. If that changes at any point for any reason, I will let you guys know immediately what that extension would be and the purpose of the extension. But at this point in time, I pretty much come in every morning asking, are we still at October 2021? And I'm getting confirmation that we're still on schedule. Right now, the work that we're doing is primarily sidewalk and curb and roadway restoration. We completed Utica Avenue, portions of Utica Avenue. I think we have 2 bus pads remaining over there. We are in the process of, I know that you guys are very concerned about the closure of the southernmost block of Franklin Avenue. But we do have another closure that's happening. I'm sure you're aware, over on Remsen. There's a short portion of Remsen that's going to be closed to traffic as well. We're in the process of closing that portion. So that is expected sometime within the next couple of months. As soon as we have sort of a set schedule for that, I'll be sending out notifications about it. And in terms of the Washington Avenue location on the western end of Empire Boulevard, we do still have water main replacement, sewer replacement, and curb and sidewalk work on Franklin Avenue to be completed. But for the most part, everything is just curb and sidewalk, trench restoration sort of activities. We are coordinating with everybody to make sure that we give them access to their driveways whenever necessary. I encourage everybody to distribute my information as much as possible in order to make those coordinations. If you hear anybody who has any issues with the project, please give them my contact information. And if there's any questions, please let me know.
Okay. So
Hi, I have a question already. This is Valerie.
Yes,
How are
Valerie.
you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing marvelous. There were some things that were left outstanding for several meetings, and I can't remember them all. I was running around to try to find my notes because we keep asking the same questions and we still didn't get the answers. Did they have anything going on with regard to the exit for Western Beef, where the people have to inch out into the street to try to make the left turn? Or did y'all figure out the configuration? Because I know that Community Board 9 came up with a rendering of the project because you weren't unable to get one because you didn't have it at the time. Was there any discussion or how we
I just would like to say I did have a rendering at the following meeting. I did show you guys sort of some diagrams of what is expected over there. At this point in time, there is already within the Western Beef parking lot sign, there's a stop sign for cars to sort of be aware of both pedestrians and traffic while they're inching out into the road. For the most part, like
people that come from how do the people that are coming southernly, coming down, I guess, Washington Avenue, I guess that is, if they're coming down, crossing over Empire, can you cross over Empire there?
Yes.
And you cross over Empire, do they
Yes,
have signage to let the people know that people will be exiting out, or is it a full stop sign for everyone? I haven't noticed it. So, and I apologize if I haven't noticed your sign because there's so many construction and so many signs. I didn't know what was going to be permanent.
Due to the fact that the driveway is not hidden by any means, there is not signage planned to be posted at that location.
So when you come out, so
Could I make a comment? I've actually been walking through there quite a bit, and assuming that the closure of Franklin is it's already closed, that block of that segment that was the slip lane. And so you still can access Western Beef in the same way that you did before via car. And I actually think it's safer with this current configuration because you don't have people would fly up Washington. And if they're taking the right turn, they're just kind of flying up the slip lane before. So it actually made it more dangerous previously, I think, for both people walking, as I typically do, or people entering, exiting via car from Western Beef. So currently people have full access to Western Beef via cars, via walkways, though I think Western Beef could improve their pedestrian access. I guess that's more on them, because people are still walking in and out of that car access. But personally, I think the closure of that I guess it's the Franklin Avenue slip lane, right? For people that were turning right previously on Empire. I find it's a big improvement in terms of preventing people kind of flying up Washington and then just kind of going into that slip lane to turn right. So
So what I'm talking about though, I appreciate what you've noticed, because I do agree that the construction is positive for safety, because that's what this is really all about, safety.
That was the goal of the project. And
Right,
we
but
are
I was
glad
just
to hear
trying
that
to-
positive feedback.
So that I can continue my thought, I was just trying to ensure that the signage and everything was in place, because maybe I did miss the last meeting, I can't recall or not, but I just wanted to ensure that the signage, because I believe that the renderings that whomever provided did not really have, if there was going to be a stop sign, because when you come out as the driver or the person in the car or the scooter leaving out of the parking lot, I'm not talking about people that are already on the road. That's another set of people that are already driving. I'm talking about that person, because I remember, I think the conversation with Carmen was that she would inch out into the road to cross over. So I was just trying to ensure if the sidewalk is going to be extended from Western Beef all the way out.
No, so as was shown in the diagram at that following meeting, I'm sorry that it wasn't sort of, I guess communicated clearly enough. The amount of curb and sidewalk that's going to be added to where the Western Beef driveway is not more than a few inches at any given point. Like they're making it a slant into sort of where the Western Beef parking access is. So there's not going to be more than a few inches. I'm not sure what the exact measurements are, but it's a very, very small amount of sidewalk that's being added to sort of where the Western Beef parking lot is. All of the trees that are going to be planted are being planted sort of in like the Franklin Avenue sort of side. So it's not going to be blocking any view on Washington Avenue. And in terms of signage for people coming out of the parking lot, as I said, Western Beef has their own stop sign. I'm sure they're required to have that stop sign as well. I don't know for sure, but they do have a stop sign right inside of their fence for people coming out of their parking lot. And in terms of people on the road approaching that driveway, it's not hidden by any means. So there's no plans to put a sign there to indicate that there's a driveway there.
Let me just add that I, as someone who lives around the corner from Western Beef and drive to Western Beef because I'm too lazy to go to the shopping cart, there are already signs in addition to the stop sign at the Western Beef. DOT already has sign there. It's like I believe it says caution or slow. Or there's a sign leading up when you cross over where the Franklin Avenue closure is. And the reason why, and they also have the right turning road signs on Washington Avenue. That part, where the park, where people used to be able to park on Washington Avenue, they do have the right turning lane with all of the arrows, turning arrows and everything there.
Yes, that was one of our requirements by DOT in order to close Franklin Avenue, is that we had to create that right turning lane first.
Mm-hmm. So that's there. I mean, right now it's kind of like, even if there was signs, they really wouldn't even be visible because there's so much going on at that corner there with the cones, the construction cones and the cranes and the mesh and everything else. But going into Western Beef from the Franklin Avenue, from the Washington Avenue sign, I think everybody already knows what that entrance is, as well as the Empire. And again, there are signs, I can't tell you exactly what it says, but there are new signs that was placed there, warning people as they're coming out of Western Beef about the traffic ahead. So yes. There are
Hi,
signs.
this is Warren. Hi, Ellen, how are you?
Hello, Warren. How are you?
I'm good. I just want to kick in the biker's point of view here. I travel that route all the time, both going to work and back from work. And when I come, I live on Sterling in Brooklyn, so I take Leffertstown, then make a right, and the whole construction area, and this is no, it's constructive, not construction, but also it's a very dangerous place for bikers. Going north, you have one little lane. The sidewalk that used to be there is obviously, being reconstructed. But more importantly, going south from Washington, you pass Empire, you pass, I guess, Popeyes, and then Brooklyn Commons, and they have these, the barrels out, and they actually extend extend past Sterling Street. So if you want to make a left on Sterling Street, you really have to go down a little and then come back, which is pretty dangerous. So my comment is maybe we could take a look at the barrels. There doesn't seem to be construction there. And the other thing, if there are just 2 lanes going back and forth, north and south. So if we can figure some way, what I've been doing, I've been coming down Lefferts, going on the sidewalk by Brooklyn Commons, and then up to Brooklyn, Empire Boulevard. So if you guys could just take a look at that, it would be appreciated.
Okay, I will request that they sort of review their sites and consolidate, and that specific corner, I'll tell them to review it for safety of potential cyclists in the area. Obviously, the purpose of this project, one of the purposes of this project is for safety. So we will do our best. I will let them know.
No, I'm all supporter of the project. I just wanted to point this out to you.
Thank you very much, Warren.
Thank you.
No problem.
Great. Thank you, Alexandra. If there are any other questions, issues, concerns regarding Empire reconstruction?
Carmen, I believe there was a speed hump question.
Where's the gentleman? I'm sorry.
It's Andrew Haig.
Andrew. Hi, what's your last name, Andrew?
Oh, sorry, Goldsmith.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
It's not about Empire though. Can I jump in now?
No, go ahead. No, this is DOT still on there.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Hi, my name's Andrew Goldsmith. I live on Union between Bedford and Franklin. There's no right turn from Eastern onto Bedford. So cars come down Franklin and they whip down our street going pretty fast trying to beat the light. We were trying to get a speed bump or a speed hump on the street. I emailed with Khalid a few times, who sent me a letter that I believe y'all had sent the DOT 2 years ago supporting a speed bump. So thank you very much for that. I wasn't aware. And so I was having a back and forth with the DOT on email, and they said that it had been rejected because the community board did not support the speed bump. So I was just kind of curious if the DOT knows any more, or if you guys still endorse the speed bump, or what I have to do to get that to move forward if possible. Thank you.
So I'm just gonna write the location down again. What was the location you mentioned?
Sure, it's Union Street between Franklin and Bedford, and I have a DOT number if that's helpful for you.
Yeah, that would actually be helpful. Can you?
I see your email. I can email it to you.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
and also, please CC the community board. They should always be copied in any communication. It's extremely important. We're always on the same page. But also, so I would have to check our database. We've changed policies. Before we needed community board input, but now DOT does not need community board input if a speed hump is feasible. So because it was 2 years ago and the policy changed a little bit before COVID, maybe like a year ago, I can check on that status for you, if it whether or not it passed feasibility studies. Now, a speed hump study does usually take about 3 years. Yeah, I know. The demand is great for speed humps. So
Yeah.
I will definitely double check, okay?
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. If I can just make 2 quick points. One is,
Sure.
I got an email from the DOT 3 weeks ago, a month ago, telling me that they rejected it because of the community board. So if that's not the policy, like, well, I hope you're not relying on them to make that case. The other thing is, I mean, this has been in the works for as long as I lived on the street, 5 years, right? Like this was approved 2 years ago. So if I have to wait 3 years, I will, but it would be nice if, we don't have to start back at the end of the line.
I hear you. I'd have to check the database to see
Okay.
All right.
what the study came out with, okay?
Cool. Thank you.
If I may interject, and I believe Mia is on. I kind of have a hard time believing that CB9 would not support a speed hump request because as far as I've been engaged with CB9, we have always been supportive of traffic measures, and I have always backed whatever
Right.
Block Association had made requests, and your request it sounds like one that I'm familiar with. So I will ask that Mia Kali, the district manager, look into this as far as where the board stands on this, because I find that very hard to believe.
Okay. I mean, just say Kali has been incredibly helpful here.
Yes.
So I'll make sure he's CC'd. And like I said, 2 years ago, you were supportive. So
Yeah, because
agree with them.
I can tell you, and I've been involved in this board since 2013, and speed hump is something that the board has always expressed support for all of the requests that have come by the office. I don't see the board saying no. As a matter of fact, we working with blocks that have been denied for years and years and years and years because we live in the district and recognize the need for speed hump. A perfect example is Leopard between Washington and Bedford. So again, make sure that you stay in contact with the office and that the office look further into this. All right.
You got
Yeah.
it. Thank you very much.
Andrew, you'll be hearing from me. I'll talk to Khalid. It's me. Yeah, I'll talk to
Okay.
Khalid, and then we'll reach out to you.
Okay, I'll CC you when I email the DOT as well, or I'll CC Khalid because I have his email. But thank you.
Well, thank you for attending this meeting and bringing that this issue to our attention. And we hope that we can find a resolution and that you're able to get your speed hump.
Thank you
Okay.
very much for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and don't make this the first and last time.
I used to come to meetings before I had a kid, and now I have a toddler, and so this is usually a bad time of night for me. So I will try to come to more, but
Thank you.
Kids. Thank you.
So I have a question, Carmen, and maybe Alexandra can answer this. Since DOT has a new policy now, and things change from time to time, what happened to all of the requests that we did approve for speed humps over the last couple of years that we, said that it would be cool? Because I don't know if this is new, when did it happen, if the language is out there on the website so that we could share it with the individuals, because you as the chair of the board, our committee, I should say, you didn't even know that they had a new policy. So what about all those people that we say, yeah, let's go on hold, let's do it. So, are they now on hold?
Well, what I will say is, I know that I had, and I have to go back. If you recall, we had a meeting where we brought up all of the outstanding issues and requests to DOT, and I guess we need to revisit that list because some of those items status was still pending. So perhaps at the next meeting, I will have that list, working with the board to provide all of the outstanding requests. And then I can submit them to Diana in advance of the meeting, so that they will be able to give a status update on all of those pending speed hump requests. Okay.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Valerie, for bringing that up. Okay. Anything else? Any other?
Carmen?
Mhm.
If I could, I have two more things to note about the project.
Oh, yeah.
One of them is that at a previous meeting, it was asked if there is going to be a leading pedestrian interval signal at the south side of Empire Boulevard at Franklin Avenue. As far as we can tell, that is the case, is going to be a leading pedestrian interval signal. I am though going to request some confirmation from DOT, actually. Diana, if I could send you an email probably tomorrow morning, just to confirm for sure that that's an LPI at that corner. And the second thing that I had to note was Mia sent me an email earlier today about some flatbeds that were left on Flatbush Avenue. Is it just north of Empire Boulevard?
Yes, they were actually originally located on Bedford, but I believe last Friday, the NYPD brought out the road tow and moved them to Flatbush Avenue because they were on both sides of Bedford, obstructing the bike lanes, north and south.
Okay.
There have been a few people that reached out to the office.
Yeah, I was unable to confirm whether those belong to Perfetto Enterprises by the end of the day, but tomorrow morning we're gonna sort of ask around and figure it out with their crew if that belongs to them. And that was everything for the reconstruction.
Great.
Can I say something,
I know that there was a question I had about the Renton Avenue. If I'm not mistaken, it's kind of like a little triangle right by East New York Avenue. Is that what's going to be closed off?
Yes. So there's the branches of East New York Avenue. One of them goes and merges with Empire Boulevard and continues east. And then there's that southern branch that cuts off at Remsen Avenue.
Right.
The portion of Remsen Avenue between those two branches is going to be paved over, become pedestrian. I think they're going to do some landscaping there as well. And it's going to be that southern portion of East New York Avenue there's going to be some roadway widening, and they're going to make it a two-way sort of turn area.
Oh, okay. Okay. That little corner is kind of tricky.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been both traveling in a car and as a pedestrian in that area. It's very confusing.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that merging there. Yeah. So,
Hi, it's Warren. Just to add my 2 cents as a biker, I go to East New York at least once a week for work, and it is a very tricky area. So I agree with both of your comments. So can we consider some sort of bike strategy there?
In terms of any changes to existing bike lanes or creation of bike lanes, we don't have anything on this project.
Because there are none right now.
If there's lines that we cut into, if there's any portion of bike lane that we've disturbed with our work, it's going to be fully restored by the end of the project.
Okay, all I'm saying, it's a gamble going there. That's all.
Yeah, very high traffic.
Let's say that
all
nicely.
kinds.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. No problem.
Okay. Thanks, Alexandra.
You're very welcome.
Okay, so we've been briefed on Clove Road. We've been briefed on the Empire Reconstruction Project. So
right, but can I say something, please?
Yes.
Because I haven't had the opportunity to speak
Hi,
on the,
Felice.
hi, this is Felice. I've been on this board for a number of years, and I'm trying to understand the closing, you know, and I missed the meeting, I know, and that's probably why I don't get it. Because I'm with Beverly and I'm sorry, Valerie and what she's saying, and also Carmen and what you're saying regarding the Empire and Washington and the way that V is and how it breaks off. So is it to my understanding that that area in which it was broken off, that's going to turn into Empire by Western Beef, is that going to be closed? Is that what I'm hearing right now?
So the portion of Franklin Avenue between Empire Boulevard and Washington Avenue, yes, is going to be closed off to vehicular traffic. It's gonna be sort of, they're gonna create a pedestrian green street sort of area. They're gonna plant a couple of trees, and it is gonna be closed off to traffic. That is correct.
Okay. Right. Okay. Juan was there in a number of these meetings and conversation as well. So why wasn't it thought of? Because we were coming up with different remedies on how to keep that so that that artery would be open for traffic. And one of the thoughts were to put a speed bump there to slow down traffic, and also a signal of some sort. Where and why and how, and you know, we made a decision to close this off. I'm only asking because I was raised here. And all the years I was raised here, the accidents wasn't occurring right there. It was occurring on the Empire section. I think it's between Franklin, McKeever, and that area. So now that the decision has been made to close it off, we have so many ways of making it work for everyone, not just for the few, but for the many. I don't understand what's going on.
So I unfortunately cannot speak to the decision made by DOT to close off this portion of Franklin Avenue. I represent the Department of Design and Construction, and we are managing a contract that was designed by the Department of Transportation, as well as the Department of Environmental Protection. I can tell you that some of our work on Empire Boulevard and Franklin Avenue does include creating pedestrian bump outs at the corners in order to make pedestrians more visible to traffic, as well as make cars more visible to pedestrians as they're crossing the street, and to shorten the distance that pedestrians have to cross. So there is some attention to the fact that there have been issues on Empire Boulevard itself at Franklin Avenue. Unfortunately, our limits don't extend to McKeever. But we do have some stuff on Empire Boulevard in order to address those safety issues.
Okay, I don't mean to put my frustrations out on you. It's just that, you know, people come
No, I understand completely.
Okay.
Okay.
Because this is like the norm, and everywhere that we go now, they're just cutting off arteries that makes the traffic, you know, unbearable. We just can't. I can't take it. And also it makes people speed because they want to catch the light, or they want to, you know, it just creates another disaster in the making. But I thank you for your answer, and thank you, Carmen.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody, for
Police.
your conversation. So now,
Thank you, Alexander.
Thanks, Dash and Diana. We'll just now have committee dialogue about any projects. So Calista, before you run, you want to discuss your suggestion?
Yes, I'd like to propose, if people are comfortable, since we're, you know, ending our session by July, if you guys would be down to do a short weekend walk, maybe Memorial Day weekend, we can walk around the Flatbush Avenue, Lincoln Road, and Parkside areas to observe any issues that could use some DOT fixes, and also maybe speak to some shop owners on Lincoln as a possibility of doing an open street there. We can mask up, social distance, it's outdoors, so it should be safe. I'm sure everyone's used to meeting outdoors safely. So I'd like to propose that we do a community walk. We haven't done it in a long time. It's one thing to sit in the office or sit behind the screen, but it's a totally different experience to actually get out and walk and, observe it firsthand as a pedestrian.
For me, I think that is a good idea. And I'm hoping that if we do it, we can at least have some action taken on some of the areas, because we did the walk before and I'm not sure how many actions were actually taken. It was good for us to actually see, because a lot of times that we have people that propose things or do things in our community, they don't really walk the area. So I apologize. I want to tell Alexandra, because we're passionate about our neighborhood. For me, I've been here over 50 years. And so that before you came along, there was somebody else and somebody else and somebody else. And they keep changing the story and changing the narrative. So getting back to Callista, I would appreciate going for a walk, but only if something's gonna come out of it. Because we do a lot of talking, we do a lot of double talking, and whatever we say, it doesn't come up. They change everything, they change it. We put in what we wanted on the Franklin Avenue side, but others put what they wanted on the Remsen Avenue side, and some of their concerns were addressed. So I'm willing to walk if the walk is going to mean action. I'm willing to get in good trouble to speak up, because I'm going to speak up, because that's who I am, because I want us to have what's good for the neighborhood. Because when we talk about community board, we need to talk about unity, because unity is in the word of community. So if we can get together and unite and get something that's really going to benefit us, I'm down. Let's do it.
Now, I don't know if the DOT reps, I don't know if you guys are able to or would like to. You guys are welcome to come. The last couple of walks we did were with two different chairs. So what would happen is that we would do this, walk. It was with what's his face, Fred Baptiste, the first couple of times. Then we did 1 or 2 with Debbie, and then the following year we had a different chair. So that's probably why a lot of the issues that we brought up didn't get addressed. But hopefully, Carmen, we will continue to have you as a chair for next year. So when we do this, that is the end of we're already locking you in, Carmen. You can't go anywhere. But yeah,
as long as you're vice chair.
Hey, this is Warren.
And we still need a secretary, Valerie.
I think Valerie would make an excellent secretary.
That's true.
Valerie.
I just want to interrupt. This is Warren. I agree with you 100%, and I'll certainly be on that walk. But as important, we had discussions in this committee of making Lincoln between Flatbush and Ocean Avenue a safe street.
Yeah.
And I think Steph was handling that, but he hasn't come back on it. But I think that's an excellent idea. I take that all the time.
Yeah, well,
So,
let me just say that following the open streets presentation that we had, I did reach out to Debbie, the chair of the Economic Development Committee, because I felt that this venture is something that should be undertaken jointly by both committee, being that the business people are part of our committee and will be the businesses involved. So I suggested that they also have an open street presentation at their meeting so that they can learn about the program, and that we can then come together and work jointly on helping those businesses on Lincoln Road between Flatbush and Ocean, as well as the businesses from Empire to Parkside, which is our district, because DOT did express that it was not, there was nothing, unusual about the closure on Flatbush Avenue, particularly over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, which is what some places are doing. Debbie's supposed to be discussing it with her committee on, I think they meet on Monday, the 10th or whatever. But regardless of that, we can, I will suggest that maybe we take the slide presentation that we were provided by DOT and make copies. And as we take the walk around the district, give it to those business owners to review and prepare some kind of survey that they can return to us concerning their interest in participating in open streets. And that way we can facilitate it, working with, I think there's the Empire, Parkside, Flatbush bid that deal, working with
Excuse
I
me,
can't
Carmen, I don't mean to interrupt you. I gotta leave, but let me know how this goes. I'm all
Right.
for it. And everybody have a great rest of your week.
Okay, thank you for your input.
Thanks, Kalisa. Enjoy the rest of your evening. But so that's something that if we want to do it over the Memorial Day weekend, we will certainly send out an email for everybody to respond and commit to the walk, and then working with the community board if they can prepare packages. And we'll see what kind of survey we can put together to leave with those businesses, along with the presentation on Open Street. That's something that will be helpful, so
Okay.
that they can better understand the program.
And Carmen, it's Warren. Would you put this on your agenda for our executive board meeting? Because I
Okay.
think it's important.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, and I'll jump in at Debbie's meeting and I'll make sure that I make mention, or that she does follow up on that, because that definitely has to be a joint effort with the Economic Development Committee. Okay. So that's all we have for this evening. I don't know how many members are to do the walk. I know Valerie signed on to it, but any other member can commit now, or when the email go out, just respond and we'll pick a time and date, and maybe sit down for some fattening dessert afterwards in one of the coffee shops.
Okay.
All right. So
Actually, there are a lot of nice restaurants on that street. We can have some tacos.
there's a lot of places. When I walk down, I mean, like, where'd I come from? Who are these people? How they get here? When did that open up? So Flatbush is becoming very vibrant.
And plus on Lincoln, there's a great food market. There's 3 or 4 restaurants, and it's the gateway for smorgasbord. So it's something to consider.
Yep. So great. Sounds like a plan. All right. So if there's nothing else for the committee, any good news, any excitement, anything, any planned vacation, anything anybody want to share, make us feel bad because we locked up in the house? Okay. So if there's nothing further, I thank you guys for coming to this meeting. I thank you for your input. And you'll be hearing from Kalista and I with regard to scheduling the walk. And I will reach out to the board office with regard to putting together just a brief survey for the business owners. Or maybe it can be done online or whichever way, to see how much interest there is, because we don't want to not involve them in that decision, since it's going to involve, it's going to affect their businesses, good, bad, or indifferent. Okay.
Oh, just one quick thing, Carmen, a quick question. The survey is for the Clove Road is where? Is it on DOT, our website?
It's both. I believe it's on the board's website as well as DOT, right?
Okay, very good.
Yes, it's in the news section.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
And I think they're going to also be putting posters, and they're going to have surveys available on site for for people as they walk by, they will be distributing. There's going to be some outreach being done in the area right there on Club Road and North Spring Avenue. Okay. For those people that don't have, Wi-Fi or they don't have the ability to do it online, there's going to be physical surveys handed out.
Great, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, everybody. So that's it for me.
So thank you, Carmen, for a
Thank
good
you,
meeting.
Lauren. Thank you for coming. Thank you, Dante, for attending our meeting. And Alexandra, we hope to see you again. I thought you didn't love us anymore, so I'm glad to see you back.
Never. I will always love you.
Yeah.
All right. So
Thank
good
you,
night,
everybody.
everybody.
Good night.
If you-
I don't
Good
know if she
night,
loves me or
everyone.
not.
I do. I do so much. I love
Okay.
your passion.
So
All
thank
right.
you. That's what I'm all about. It's all about the community. And see, Dante sees me in 2 meetings now, so he knows that I'm no joke, okay? Thank you so much for that.
All
I do
right.
appreciate everyone here tonight. Have a good evening.
Good
Good night.